What's up, everybody? We're live.
We live.
Rolling the podcast here pretty quick.
Yeah.
And again, just to let you guys know, if you jump on this, is more about recording the podcast than it is live stream. We just live stream it because we're streamers and we can, and it works easy. So,
Hells yeah.
and I'm really pasty in here. I am kind of pasty. It's just, I don't like this straight camera app. Doesn't. It's me. Well, okay. Be a little pasty white.
There, now you look super tan.
I'm not getting a bunch of. Let's see if I can get a bunch of.
You're so tan now.
No, I've been on vacation. That's a lie. Been at work. Son at work. I feel like there's a lot of noise. No.
You are cutting in and out on me.
Videos.
All right, we'll give you that color.
All right. Oh, I look like Trump. I'm orange. I just dial a little more Biden in there. No.
All right.
All political already.
Wetting my whistle real quick. All right. Let's go ahead and just dive right. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Intro. What's up, game geeks and tech junkies? Welcome to A Gaming Moment, a weekly podcast about everything gaming and streaming related, including the news, tech, and software behind it. Be sure to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all of your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm Diggin07, and with me as always is Wild Twins fan. How you doing, Wildy? It's been a crazy week for you, man.
Yep. Putting in some hours this last couple weeks, so been a bit on nights, so not a lot of fun, but you know, got to make ends meet. Till the podcast pays the bills. You know, that's what it is. Yeah. Grind you have to make.
So it looks like we got some really good and interesting topics going on this week. We have Twitch adjusting partner splits. Nvidia got fined $5.5 million for hiding how many GPUs were sold to crypto miners. We're also going to hit on China is going to ban miners from tipping live streamer. We're also going to hit on China is going to be banning miners from tipping live streamers after 10 p.m.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk a little bit why Call of Duty Vanguard didn't sell so well according to Black Ops, or sell as well even as Black Ops Cold. Yeah, we're going to touch on why Call of Duty Vanguard didn't sell as well as Black Ops, according to Activision. We also got Twitch streamers. Just talk about them and capitalizing on the depth versus herd trial and the trauma and the drama and kind of what's going on there. And then in some sad news, we lost a gaming mouse pioneer from Razer. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Day, I know you're a Razer streamer, so thought that was a good topic.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just dive right in. So reports have come out, and we've heard it from Devin Nash and Harris Heller and many other prominent people that are in the streaming industry that Twitch may reduce the revenue split for its partnered streamers. The reports are saying that Twitch is considering cutting the streamer revenue share from 70% to 50%. Now, I do want to note these are reports, but where there's smoke, there's usually some fire.
Yeah, this is a pretty significant deal, and this is a lot more worrying for the longevity of Twitch for me than just the money and stuff, because it's Twitch has never really been profitable. It's kind of this big hole. Now that Amazon has them, it's seeming like they are trying to patch the holes of this sinking ship instead of increasing viewership. They're going to talk more about milking more out of it, and this is a pretty significant. These are significant numbers for big streamers. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about a cut like that. So, just talking about some of the top streamers, I think, but Devin Nash ran the numbers, and it was almost $1 million for like Nick Merckx that he would take a cut to do this. So, but now the flip side is this the sign that Twitch is starting to sink the ship? Because now they're talking about considering moving the exclusivity restrictions, which is a big reason. And then again, that was the other big reason that I dropped my affiliate status, because I didn't want to have to be locked in exclusively with Twitch when I stream, because I have limited stream time. So to get my channel out to 3 different sources or 4 or 5 different sources in one stream is, it's tripling, 5 times in the viewer potential of growing my audience and stuff like that. So maybe that's going to allow Nick Merckx to go to YouTube and co-stream and monetize there. And he's already got some presence on there as is, but I don't know. It kind of smells like something's afoul.
I mean, just like we talked about last week, there's a lot of turmoil at the top of Twitch and its executive leadership, and they're making really what I consider really bad calls, from the top down. They're trying to focus on making the company profitable, and Waldy said it perfectly. Twitch has never been profitable. The amount of data that has to be consumed and transcribed on Twitch is astounding, and that costs money, a lot of money. And man, the other thing that the report is stating is they are considering putting more ads on the platform. Like, we're already complaining right now about how many ads are on the platform. For small streamers that are super stoked about getting their affiliate status and they have the pre-roll ads on their channel, which is technically actually probably hurting their viewership more than it is helping it. They're going to have even more ads, like mid-roll ads that they can't control, because Twitch really wants to push those ads because they're trying to build that revenue. And man, I think Twitch is a sinking ship right now. And I don't know if you guys know or not, but I did just put out a new video on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dagan07, titled 3 Reasons Streamers Are Moving from Twitch to YouTube. And these are part of the reasons, the exclusivity restrictions that Twitch currently has, the amount of ads that Twitch is putting on people's streams, and then now the revenue splits from top streamers. Like, this is going to cost top streamers a lot of money.
Yeah, and the other thing they were talking about, even with ads, was, as a streamer, you have the ability to give your subscribers ad-free viewing, and they were going to pull the plug on that too. It's like, that's a huge reason. I guarantee that's a huge reason a lot of people subscribe to streamers, is to not have to watch the ads during the streams. And I don't know. They have to find, this is not the way to grow your platform and make it more profitable, in my opinion.
Yeah, and speaking of making things not profitable,
hey, Dave, can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
You are cracking on your mic for me.
Are we gonna have to do that whole fucking thing all over again?
I don't know if you wanna stop it and listen to it. And it's not I don't know if I can determine when it's doing it. I couldn't quite determine. It does seem to be picking it up in the recording. If I'm hearing it, the recording's got to hear it.
Yeah, because you're listening. It's the same channel throughout the whole thing. It should sound a lot better now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Fact.
I
All right.
think we're gonna. We can roll with it, or we can just. It's up to you.
We got to go for quality, so I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start it from the fucking top.
All right.
Sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I should have said something earlier. And all right.
It's all good. That's why I was like, does my mic sound good? Everything.
It sounds good, but then the crack, it's not consistent.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's, yeah.
Because you know how sometimes I have to go in and set a setting in the task manager. So
yeah.
All right. Let's restart, cut, edit. Ooh. Boop.
Boop. Stream this boop. Never happened.
Yeah, stream this never happened. Thank God nobody's watching right now. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. What's up, game geeks and tech junkies? Welcome to A Gaming Moment, a weekly podcast about everything gaming and streaming related, including the news, tech, and software behind it. Be sure to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all of your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm Dagan07, and with me as always is Wild Twins fan. How you doing this week, Wildy?
Yeah, I've been a little bit crushed. Had a hard time kind of squeezing this podcast in this week, but we got her in and we got her prepped and ready to go. In fact, we got a strong prep on the next podcast come up, and that's looking pretty good too. So pretty interesting. But
that one.
Yeah,
guys, you're gonna have to
this week though,
I'm super excited.
This week though, we have Twitch adjusting partner split. Allegedly, these changes could be coming. So we'll talk a little bit about that and what that can mean for partners and for you, a viewer. I also going to talk about Nvidia getting fined $5.5 million for hiding how many gaming GPUs were sold to crypto miners. Surprising. We also have banter items this week. Talk a little bit about China banning miners from tipping live streamers and watching after 10 p.m. So again, big brother China watching you. Also talk about Call of Duty and why Activision doesn't think Vanguard sold as well as Call of Duty Black Ops called. Oh, jeez. And we're also going to talk about why Activision thinks that Vanguard didn't sell as well as Cold War, at least according to Activision. So that we'll see. I mean, we've talked about that. We talked about that before Vanguard dropped. So yeah. Also talking a little bit about just some of the meta streaming right now and just chatting. A lot of people talking about the top streamers, watching the Depp and the Herd trial, talking about the trauma and the drama there, and just kind of capitalizing on all the juiciness there. And also talk about a loss. Day, I know you're a Razer streamer, and that we lost Razer co-founder and kind of the grandfather or whatever of a pioneer of the gaming mouse. Robert Krakoff has died. So talk a little bit about that. But if you want, let's drop into this first topic then right away.
Yeah. So this came across. I saw it come across with Devin Nash and Harris Heller from Alpha Gaming / Senpai Gaming. They did videos on these. You guys can find the links to these videos in the description of the podcast. But Twitch may reduce the revenue split for its partnered streamers. And basically, they're going to go from a 70% revenue share to a 50% revenue share. And again, these are just reports. But Wildy, man, where there's smoke, there's usually some fire.
I mean, yeah, we already know there's smoke coming out of the leadership of Twitch as is. So this is kind of scary. This is a big number. Now we got to remember these are partnered streamers. These are the top tier streamers. These are streamers that are averaging, generally speaking, over 100 viewers per stream, and some of them much higher than that. I'm just talking a little bit about like Nick Merckx and the number of subscribers he had. They're talking about it's 700 to $750 to nearly $1 million a year cut he would be taking just on subscriptions. And I don't know, pretty rough. They also talk a little bit rumors, so it's all rumors about removing some exclusivity restrictions and stuff like that. That could maybe, yeah, for a streamer that's a plus. But for a platform on Twitch, I don't, that's not a good sign to say what now we're going to allow our big partners to go elsewhere. But what is that bringing them? I'm not sure, other than giving them the leap board to when Twitch shuts down. I don't
know. What I'm thinking is, there's a lot of creators jumping ship from Twitch. We've seen Valkyrae, we've seen Dr. Lupo, and these are like Tim the Tatman. These are huge prominent streamers. Like Tim the Tatman is an OG from Twitch. Like he's one of like the original like top streamers from Twitch since it was Justin TV. And these guys are jumping ship because of the exclusivity restrictions, like, and hopefully they remove it from affiliates as well, not just partnered streamers, but affiliates, because, honestly, the exclusivity restrictions stunts the growth of a lot of streamers, in my opinion. And that's the reason
for me, again, that was one of the two reasons I dropped my affiliate agreement, right? Because I wanted no ads or less ads, and I wanted the ability to multi-stream to help increase my community and my membership and my reach. And if I'm limited on time, that I can reach 3 to 5 times more people by streaming on more platforms at the same time, and yet being able to engage them all at the same time, that's a no-brainer for a small guy like me. So
yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that they're thinking about doing is considering adding more ads to the platform, as if the platform isn't bad enough with ads. We already get pre-roll ads with almost all of the affiliated streamers. And again, I think that is stunting the growth of a lot of affiliates, because you have to watch 30 seconds to a minute worth of ads before you even get to watch the person stream. I don't even like watching ads on TV. I don't like watching ads on YouTube. I wait for the skip ad button. Maybe they'll come out with a skip ad button. That, I think that would save a lot of small streamers some heartache in their growth. But Wild, how many times have you clicked off of a stream because you got you got 30 seconds or a minute worth of pre-roll ad and you said, I don't have time for this?
None. And you want to know why? Because I have Twitch Turbo, and so I do not have ads. Because that's how much I hate ads. I give them $10 a month just to not watch ads. Used to be free under Twitch Prime, which was great. They took that away. It's just they're slowly eroding everything, every benefit to being a watcher, a viewer, a subscriber on this platform. Why are people going to stay? I mean, the views are there now, but we can go to YouTube, and I got YouTube, premium, and I don't have to watch ads on YouTube either. So, I'd rather just watch the streamer if they're going to be exclusive. I'm just going to watch them on YouTube. Well, I'm not going to go to Twitch. I'm not going to deal with Twitch. There's no reason for me to go to Twitch anymore.
I honestly think after our discussion last week about the executive leadership turmoil going on at Twitch, I honestly think that with these decisions and these possible changes, like, Twitch might have peaked, and I think we're on the downside of it now. I think
possible.
I think that I don't know if they're trying to get greedy, but Twitch has never been a profitable company. It's not set up to be a profitable company.
They bought it losing money.
Yeah, losing a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to process the amount of data that Twitch processes with the transcoding and everything. That's a lot of money, plus all of the R&D, all of the development time that it takes, the developers. TwitchCon is a huge deal. We haven't had that in a couple years, but
this year there's a new one.
Yeah, there's a new
one. We got one this year. Yep.
But that costs a ton of money too. the the whole thing is the whole thing is just completely muffed, man. And
Yeah,
I think, I don't know. I think we're starting to see the holes in the ship, and I think we're starting to see the ship sink.
I agree. And again, guys, this is just speculation at this point, leaked by people that probably shouldn't leak stuff like this. But obviously, if leaks are coming out like this, and if we find them to be true, there's a lot of smoke coming out of the ship, and there's probably a lot of fire underneath it. So we'll keep you updated as we find out going forward how this is going to go. The vast majority of this, again, it doesn't really affect the small streamers, but it's gonna kill a lot of things on Twitch. So pretty interesting. So moving on though, I did we speculated this in the early stages with Nvidia and the GPU shortage and stuff like that. And man, you'd see these pictures of these crypto miners, man, and they'd have flipping rooms and racks and racks and racks of flipping brand new 3080s, 3090s, just racks of them, and they're all Bitcoin mining, they're Ethereum mining, and all this stuff. And you're like, how are these people able to get these GPUs if we can't get them as a how do they get 1,000 of them when I can't get one of them? And we were talking a little bit about there had to be some backdoor dealings there and stuff like that. And turns out Nvidia gets fined for failing to mention crypto miners were some of its biggest gaming GPU customers. So they're playing some shady ass games. So just shady.
Yeah, the SEC holds that Nvidia failed to disclose that cryptocurrency mining was a significant element of its revenue growth during 2017, and it hid the fact that this growth did not come directly from its gaming GPU business as the company had claimed. So, just a note that you'll see the SEC refer to Nvidia's fiscal year 2018 in the SEC filings, but that roughly correlates to human Earth year 2017, whatever. Companies have weird fiscal years. Like the company I work for, the fiscal year starts in February. It's really weird. Um, but that's an important detail, as 2017, 2018 was the peak of the major cryptocurrency mining boom prior to the more recent one in 2020 and 2021. And it's been difficult to buy graphics cards, especially during 2017, as the profitability of cryptocurrency, like namely Ethereum, was sky high. And the company responded to the high demand of GPUs by making more of them, and they made too many of them, which is weird because we had such a hard time trying to find our 3080s and 3090s
Yeah.
and
I mean,
stuff.
I even had
don't
a hell of a
understand.
time I had a hell of a time even getting my 1070. They weren't plentiful and abundant on the shelf, and I had, I believe, two models at the time when I walked in to actually buy one, choose from, but I ended up with, a really expensive 1070, which was fine because it was a good card, but those are the ones left over. So yeah, there's been some shadiness there, and they're getting called out. It'll be interesting to see if there's more that comes of this last crypto boom and some of the shenanigans that may have went on in the background there.
Well, maybe that's why we're seeing, I'm not going to say an abundance of cards right now, but crypto's in the toilet, man. I took my 3080, and when I wasn't gaming while I was working, I was running nice hash and doing some mining, trying to just to get some Bitcoin, if you will, lined up, trying to prepare myself for the future. Maybe, take $100 and hopefully watch it grow to, maybe it'll double to $200, or $150, see that nice little increase, when actually my, I ported over my funds that I had mined to a crypto wallet, where I can then kind of spread it out and trade across different cryptocurrencies. So I basically took that $100. now it's all my cryptocurrency is worth about $35. So
Well,
it's dropped like 65%. Um,
it's
just
nothing to
just
say
since
it's going
just
to
since
hold its value.
December. Yeah, and
Yeah, nothing to say
nobody.
it's going to hold its value. So it's a bit of a gamble, and it's kind of one. It seems to me it's always like you mine now for the future.
Yeah,
You know,
and
it's not
that's
always
what I'm doing.
profitable. It's not really profitable necessarily, and never really has been super profitable in its current time. But
Hmm.
unless you go with crazy setups, there's Bitcoin miners. They're 50 grand, you know, to mine Bitcoin, and that's all they do. And it still take several months to pay those off.
Yeah,
So it's a crazy thing.
but ultimately, to put a bow on this topic, ultimately, Nvidia was fined $5.5 million, which is pretty much just a slap on the wrist for them. I mean, they made $26.91 billion in 2021, which is up 61% over the previous year. So in 2020, they made 61% more in 2021 over 2020, and it does appear that they have learned a lesson from the mining gold rush of 2017, 2018. They seem to have played it a lot safer with this last boom, launching specially produced cryptocurrency cards and keeping the inventory a lot leaner. Again, that's why, we had a hard time trying to find those cards. Maybe that's why we saw 1050s and 1050 Ti's come out when 30 series weren't being produced. They still had
Yeah.
an overstock of 10 series cards out. So they're trying not to get popped again by the SEC. So I think I don't
But
know.
and the bright side of everything, talking now current, like you want a GPU, you can go out and get a GPU from a store. Micro Center by me, they've got pretty much everything in stock. I'm looking at 25 plus in stock. The other telling factor is the prices are coming down. They're closer and closer to MSRP. I paid $729 for my 3080. $729 for a overclocked tough 3080. Um, you know, there's right now the cheapest 3080. It's a For the Win, which is an expensive card.
Yeah, that's what I have.
920. I
Yeah.
think that was about what 850 ish.
Yeah, it was about
So
850 when I bought mine.
I mean we're getting really close. Cards are available. The prices are they're close. They're close enough. I mean now
Mhm.
that you've been waiting, you can get your cards now and you can get out, get the frame rates, and FPS wins games, right? Nvidia
Heck yeah.
helps. So
So, guys, if you've been enjoying the podcast and would like to support us so we can create more content, we've got a Patreon that you can visit at patreon.agamingmoment.com. Become a patron and gain exclusive benefits such as early access to episodes, monthly AMAs, and an additional monthly bonus episode. So, sign up today.
then dropping into weekly banter. We got China banning miners from tipping live streamers and watching after 10 p.m. Okay, probably a good thing. But I don't know if the government needs to step in and do this, but this is China, so pretty interesting.
Yeah, China runs a pretty tight ship. I've mentioned this before, they have this thing called the Great Firewall. So they can pretty much put in whatever restrictions they want to put in, like to outbound sites. So basically the way it works is the computer reaches, the Chinese firewall, the Great Firewall, if you will, and it says, okay, this is the demographic of this person. um yes or no, can we let it should we let it go to, we'll say Twitch. Yes or no, do we want to let it go to Twitch? If it's after 10 p.m., no, we're not going to let it go to Twitch. 404 error, send them to a page that says no, 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 or something like that. I don't know how they're going to stop the tipping. Are they going to prevent them from going to like a Streamlabs tipping page? Are they going to prevent them from going to a PayPal donation page? How that's the interesting part to me. Um but they state that, you know, buying live streamers virtual gifts that can be redeemed for cash is causing their physical and mental health to be seriously damaged. I don't know how giving somebody a gift is
I
damaging their mental health and their physical health, or receiving a gift is damaging their mental or physical health. I mean, the
I mean,
propaganda that they spill.
we don't really know the whole, the whole thing. Is there people? I've never watched Chinese Twitch of any sort, so I don't know. Are they screaming and crying for money? I don't believe they're all that different than your average streamer here in the U.S. or Europe or anywhere else that I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's rarely are they ever shaming you for not subscribing or whatever. We've covered some that have, and how that doesn't generally work out well for them. But I don't know. I don't see this being it'd be interesting. I wonder what their data says, how big of an issue this is, or if this is just some high and mighty bug that crawled up some Chinese government ass and
You know,
planted itself. So
you know what it could be.
uh,
And this just came off the top of the dome, so I'm just Wild's gonna hear this for the first time, because usually we have a pre-discussion before the podcast goes out, so we know what we're saying. But maybe they don't have a way of tracking. The Chinese government doesn't have a way of tracking the quote unquote gifts,
no
or
way,
the funds
no
coming in
way.
to
China has a way to
these
track
people.
everything. You think Facebook tracks you? They're probably not even close to on par with the Chinese government. I mean, my understanding is you have like a social score, like a instead of like a credit score like you'd have in the United States for your spending and such like that. You have like a social score, and it's like how probably how loyal you are to the motherland in China, and how good of a citizen you are and stuff like that. And I bet that this all rates into all this stuff. And I would be, you'd probably be mind boggled by the statistics that China holds on its own citizens. Again, we talked about this in a previous episode, like saying you should bring burner phones to the Olympics because China's going to install shit on your device that you're never going to be able to get off, and they're going to track you forever, right? Like, the government doesn't make these like statements because they think it's funny or whatever. They make them because they're legitimate concerns. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just a funny little aside to the streamer world that China's going to step in and stop people from watching after 10 p.m. You get to your schoolwork. Okay.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and dive into why Activision says Vanguard, or why they think Vanguard didn't sell as well as Black Ops Cold War. So Activision put out Activision puts out an annual report every year, and for 2021 the company said it failed to execute the proper way of launching the game, and the World War II setting didn't particularly grab fans. And
Dave, what was your response to that? What was your response to that, Dave?
Well, no fucking shit. No one wanted or asked for another World War II style game.
You remember when I stepped in and like marksman? I am marksman, Call of Duty streamer, Fortnite streamer, long time search and destroy streamer. Fucking amazing guy, cool as shit too. Also named Nick, so I like that. Also in the Midwest here with me, so cool fucking guy. But like he said, like, why? Even if it's a World War II game, why do we have to keep it authentic to World War II, right? Like, give us cool guns, give us laser guns, whatever. It's like we don't have. No one goes to Call of Duty for authenticity, period. Right? They go for gameplay and whatever, and the Call of Duty formula or whatever. It's like they don't. It's like no one wants shitty guns from the 1940s.
Yeah, Activision came out and said, while Call of Duty remains one of the most successful entertainment franchises of all time, our 2021 premium release didn't meet our expectations. We believe primarily due to our own execution. The game's World War II setting didn't resonate with some of our community, and we didn't deliver as much innovation in the premium game as we would have liked. And like I said, my immediate thoughts were, World War II is played out. COD 1, 2, 3, World at War, World War II, Vanguard are all World War 1 and 2 based games. That is a lot of their content. Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, and Infinite Warfare stretches the imagination for future warfare games. Black Ops 2, Cold War are across from the World War II weapons and the more modern weapons. We're talking, that's that whole Cold War era when there was more innovation in weapon technology and stuff. And then we have Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, Ghost, and then the latest Modern Warfare, and then we have the new upcoming Modern Warfare 2 coming out. And I would say all of these but Ghost would be their highest grossing games because the story was so good. It was also where multiplayer online first-person shooters got kicked into overdrive between Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. And there's more relevance. There's more there's more like, common similarities for today. It kind of puts you in what a scenario would be like for today. And that's what the people wanted. Now, I get not wanting to put out like a very similar game year after year, but those games did so well, and this latest Modern Warfare game was one of their best selling games to date.
Yeah, it's the Modern Warfare, and I've said it. Modern Warfare, this last gen or this current Modern Warfare that Warzone's based on, best game that Call of Duty's ever put out, hands down. And I don't like to beg a lot on Cold War because Cold War came out a year early. We know that, right? Treyarch was not supposed to step up and put a game out, and they came up a year early, so they get a little bit of a pass, right? Because shaving a year off your development time is phenomenal, and to have a game that came out and pretty much worked, right? Worked better than a lot of the other games, Let's just say it. Sledgehammer makes shit games, They made that World War II was their last game, right? If I believe so correctly. And then they got an extra year to make Vanguard. And Vanguard's kind of all right in some ways, but some of the shit is so fucked up. Like I'm irritated that, as a search and destroy player, you could have Ghost, you could have Cold Blooded, and you can have Ninja. You've always been able to have that by some form of whatever in Call of Duty. And now you have to pick between either Ghost or Ninja. It's like, those are the two things I want on my search class, because that's the way I play. I'm not the rusher. I'm a bit of a rat.
Yeah.
And I let my other teammates rush, and they got their place, and that we need that. And I'm a little bit slower, more methodical, a little more planned out. My play style, I could play both routes, but that's just the way I play, because most people want to be the rushers, and you can't even do that.
Yeah, I was telling my buddy last night, we were playing some Warzone, some Rebirth Island. I don't play Caldera. I don't like.
No one likes Caldera.
Well, I don't like Warzone's like battle royale thing, like their version of a battle royale. I really enjoy Rebirth Island because it's kind of a mix between like team deathmatch and your traditional BR. But I'm sitting there trying to level up a gun, and I'm going through this list of it. This is for the automaton, however the hell you say it.
Yeah.
And I'm going through the list of optics. Why the hell do we need 21 optics for a gun?
It's so grindy and shitty.
Why do we need the ability to have 10 different attachments for a gun?
Yeah.
They're just trying to fix a problem that's not there with that. And you just said it right. It's grindy at the end of the day. And man,
that I've ultimately that's probably Vanguard's biggest flaw. Is fucking no one wants to play it for 24 hours to level up one gun. I mean, the leveling up, the guns, they get better as you level them up. And I'll tell you what, most guns, I would argue, are not usable under level 20. Like you can get kills, right? But you are going to get owned by anything that's halfway on the meta. if you're using those guns, if you're not the first shot clearly on people, you're losing so many gunfights, and it's you know what, you just get killed, and then the skill based matchmaking is so fucking brutal on Vanguard. Like I get teammates that I swear to God they drool and they don't they I don't even know, dude. They're playing with their feet because their hands are busy texting. I don't know what they're doing. Um, I it's you punish the players that want to play the game, and I believe Marksman now is done playing Vanguard. He won't play it anymore because he's
Yeah,
just tired of getting thrown into dog shit lobbies with trash kids and,
yeah.
and having to play your heart out every game to try to have fun.
I didn't even buy Vanguard. My buddy just bought Vanguard just so he can level up the guns because he's tired of it taking
Yeah.
forever to try to level them up in Warzone. That's the only reason why he bought it. I said, "Have at it, buddy." The only game that I'm actually gonna buy, that I'm actually looking forward to buying, is the new Warzone 2 game that's gonna be coming out. That's it.
Which
And
Warzone 2 should be free,
yeah, and
but
I'm not even buying it.
Modern Warfare 2, right?
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Correct. Modern Warfare 2. I'm I'm not even buying it for the Warzone or for the multiplayer. I'm buying it for the story. And I'm
Yeah.
said it a million times on this channel. I love the story on Modern Warfare. I've been part of it's been part of my life since Modern Warfare 1, the OG Modern Warfare. I've loved it then, I love it today, and I'm going to keep loving it as long as, they do it justice. And
Yep.
speaking of justice, how about that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial that everybody's been memeing?
I mean, I know I cannot actually watch it because
I
it's
do.
so cringy. It's so cringy. I can't. And I love that Amber's getting roasted like she deserves.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's an evil cunt, and I'm going record to say that. So strong language. Uh, honestly, well deserved.
She's an evil
So
lady. We're gonna leave the
yeah,
C word out of that. We'll delete that out of the recording. But she is not a good lady. I mean, she's even on record in the trial on audio saying she beat the mess out of Johnny Depp. Like what more do you need? What more evidence do you need as a jury to be like, this bitch is fucking crazy? She's
yeah,
obviously lying. And her trying to do fake, her trying to produce fake tears, and I swear she's doing secret bumps of coke on the stand and stuff. It's amazing. And this has been such a huge topic that like top streamers like Pokimane, XQC, and a lot of others, they're memeing and reacting to this entire case, and it's become the new meta, and it's pulling in streamers by the thousands. There's content creators on Twitch that have put the actors' names in their titles just to garner the interest of curious viewers. And they're going for the different variations of justice for Amber Heard, or justice for Johnny, or they're doing Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp watch party. And it's working because people are morbidly interested in this case. And me personally, I hope Johnny Depp wins. I'm a Johnny Depp fan. I think it was dumb that he got let go of two big movie franchises.
cancel cultures,
Oh,
cancer.
he was guilty until proven innocent, and he has every right to sue her for what he's wanting. But the streamers like Pokimane have had on-screen counters tracking certain behaviors, such as Heard's fake crying or Depp and his lawyer laughing. Like, this is probably one of the most entertaining cases, one of the most entertaining court cases I've ever seen, because it's two actors acting on the stand. Like, they have to put up like this facade, or they have to these are professional people that fool people into thinking that they're a specific type of person. and
I mean,
we just see how bad of an actor Amber Heard is. She's
but
relying on her looks too much.
it's kind of nice, right? Though, like Twitch, YouTube, this is a perfect platform for something like this, right? You can kind of get together and discuss things, and I mean, that's some of the cool powers of Twitch and live streaming, that you could bring a group and audience together and discuss things, and hopefully, rational terms on things, and just kind of get the opinions and points of views of people. And so I just think it's get not topic wise, I can't watch it, too cringy. But I just think it's a shining example of some of the content on Twitch that actually does come out to be pretty amazing stuff. So
yeah, just remember, guys, enjoy the entertainment value, but unless you're a law professional, don't claim anything as fact or spread anything as fact. Don't be part of the misinformation era. The people that have really benefited from this, though, have been like the professional law stream, or the professional law people that have gotten into streaming. Like their viewership and following is just skyrocketed, and that's really cool to see from on that point, because that's going to help their careers at the end of the day.
I kind of actually watch a couple lawyers. There's a couple on TikTok. They're pretty big. A husband and wife, and they're lawyers, and they kind of go over points and stuff. And it's always interesting to hear, a lawyer's perspective on things. It always varies from region to region and stuff like that. But neat content nonetheless. Something to learn from.
Yeah, and finally, let's talk about this sad news, because I wanted to put the sad news last, just because there was so much good stuff at the beginning. Razer co-founder and gaming mouse pioneer Robert Razor Guy Krakoff passed away. But the good news is he passed away at the ripe old age of 81. It's not like he passed away when he was like 50
pretty good
or
run.
Something like that. Yeah, pretty good run.
Lasts longer than the last Razer mouse.
Krakoff was the co-founder and former president of a gaming hardware company, Razer. And in 1999, he was behind the first ever gaming mouse, the Razer Boomslang. And it was the foundation of Razer's massive lineup of gaming mice, and it arguably jump-started the entire gaming peripheral industry. So he's basically the godfather of gaming mice. The origin stories can be complicated, and the story of Razer is more convoluted than most. Razer wasn't actually a company until 2005. It was the trademark brand of an entity called Karna, which had invented an optomechanical encoding wheel that could track a mouse's movements at 2000 dpi. Robert Krakoff was also a known lefty, and he stated that he wished the company would make a left-handed mouse, but he didn't have the power as president of the company to make that happen. But the board was like, all right, let's give this a try, because he's obviously not the only left-handed person out there. And but the amount of left-handed people out there is way less than right-handed people, so it just didn't make financial sense for Razer to do that. But about a year later, they eventually released the first left-handed gaming mouse, which was a mirror image of its best-selling mouse at the time, Razer's best-selling mouse at the time, the Death Adder, which is still one of their more popular mouses to date. And like I said, he was pretty much the grandfather of modern gaming peripherals, and we as gamers owe this man a debt of gratitude. I mean, we all love our Logitech mice.
Yes. It had to come. The inspiration had to come from somewhere, and so anyways.
Yeah.
Sad little gaming news there.
Yeah. Being a Razer streamer, personally, I don't promote their products too much, because I think they're overpriced for what you get, but they do make a damn good keyboard. I use the Razer Ornata keyboard, and man, I love this thing. And
both my kids have a Razer keyboard. One actually has Ornata too, and they're both really good, really solid keyboards. So
your daughter has a Razer headset, right?
She's got the Kitty version, Kraken.
The Kitty Kraken.
The one with the
headset,
RGB ears and all that stuff, and An expensive headset, but it's been good.
She loves it.
It
She
sounds
loves it.
super comfortable, super nice. I don't wear it much because it's a little strange on me.
What Wildy's trying to say is he doesn't want to look like Pokimane on stream because he's that sexy.
I mean, I don't want to steal her thunder. She's amazing, beautiful, all the above.
So we got some follow-ups this week as well. So Sony says it won't make Bungie games exclusive, but the Federal Trade Commission might not be convinced. Wildy, what do you think about this?
I'm on par. I'm not convinced either. Sony's been historically worse at exclusives than anyone else. You can't have Spider-Man. They fought what Rocket League I think was kind of really one of the first titles that really pushed, and they fought to get Rocket League to keep that on its network, and Fortnite, and they kind of had the whole. Everyone's had their issues, and it's money issues. Arguing about that, so I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know how they can enforce that or whatever, but I don't trust Sony either.
To be honest, man, I don't really care. They don't have a game out that I really care about right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
But again, those 4 players playing Destiny are probably No, I'm just kidding, guys. Destiny's actually got a fair population of active players. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty non-issue to me.
And as we were talking about in the Nvidia segment up above earlier, Corsair expects GPUs will be back to MSRP in the near term, and perhaps maybe a little lower than MSRP.
Well, you could probably find your AMD cards for lower. And again, we've talked about that. You're not going to get me to jump Team Red drivers and all sorts of issues there. I'm going to stay with Nvidia.
So real talk.
I'm happy to see the prices and the availability.
So my buddy, he's really wanting to upgrade his GPU. He's got a 1050 Ti. And he's like, well, a 3070 is just a little bit out of my price range, but a 6700 sounds fantastic because it's about the same specs as a 3070. And I'm like, you can go that route. And he's not a streamer, so he doesn't need an NVINC chip, so it's not out of the question for him. But I did warn him that their driver support's hot garbage, and he's like, I'll risk it for the biscuit. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to tell you I told you so. Although, my previous...
I think if you're not dropping for every AAA game when they come out, you probably be pretty consistently okay.
Yeah, he's a Warzone player. Like that's kind of his go-to game. He doesn't play much else than Warzone. So I think he'll be okay. And as we're seeing now, the Gigabyte 6900 XT is actually under MSRP right now.
Yeah, they just dropped the 6950 for 10% more, maybe 10% more performance. So I could see a price drop on that. That's getting old now.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 3080 versus 3080 Ti. So yeah, a price drop, and that seems reasonable. It's just one of those things, man. You gotta make an educated choice based on your uses when you're buying a GPU. That being said, the latest version of an Nvidia's driver that just dropped for me crashes Vanguard, so I had to reinstall and go back to the previous version, stopped it from crashing. So no one's ever perfect. So
speaking of that, guys, PSA, public service announcement here. Make sure you update your graphics driver. There was a critical vulnerability found in one of the latest Nvidia graphics drivers. They finally patched it this last week, so make sure that you update your Nvidia graphics drivers if you haven't already. Otherwise, you could run into some pretty nasty issues with your PC.
Unless you're one of the other 12 Vanguard players with me, then heed warning.
And finally, GeForce Now's best feature is finally available for Mac and PC users. Guys, you can now stream your games in 4K without needing like a Shield TV.
I don't know anything about this, Day. Tell me about it.
So what Shield TV is Nvidia's kind of like the Amazon Fire Stick or the
Yep.
Chromecast. You don't need that anymore. You don't need this $150 device in order to stream your 4K games over but you have to have at least an RTX 3080. That is the stipulation. But now you can stream 4K. You can stream your games in 4K at 60 frames per second on both PC and Mac. And they also announced new additions to their streaming catalog, including Trek to Yomi and Star Trek Wars. Wow. Trekkies and Star Wars geeks, please don't kill me on that one. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So Trek to Yomi and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is now available on GeForce Now if you invest in that. I don't have a reason to invest in it. I have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I can play the games on there. But a lot of people with the new graphics cards, they are getting like, 6-month memberships or year trial to GeForce Now.
Gosh, I think they gave me a year when I think there was a year tab in my box when I bought my 3080.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously didn't use it.
Yeah, me either. So guys, if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all of your favorite podcasting platforms. So do it.
So this is a bit of a follow-up, but from our favorite Pokimane here. Pokimane was talking with XQC about his gambling and gambling on stream and gambling just in general. And like we talked about, maybe these are things that should be removed from Twitch, right? Encouraging people to gamble and some of these things I don't know are belong on Twitch, or I don't know, or should be vetted somehow that you have to be 21 and up or whatever it is to even watch these streams. But XQC has always been famous for streaming gambling and caught a lot of heat, caught a lot of flack for it in the past. And he hasn't really done it. He hasn't done it for a while, from my understanding. But he was talking with Pokimane, and he told Pokey that he'd lost $1.85 million last month. Right? Ugh. It's not breaking the bank, right? The guy's making bank, right? He's not going bankrupt, but to admit to losing almost $2 million on stream is insane to me. And now I hear that he's back streaming gambling and sponsored by another gambling site. So maybe he's got bigger skeletons in the closet. I don't know.
Well, in that interview with Pokey, he even came out and said, I have an addiction to gambling.
Yeah.
And this is where the toxicity of the industry that we're in really stands out, because you have, like you just said, you have these people encouraging these people that have these addictions. It's like people that are addicted to drugs. You're basically just handing them, a bag of cocaine and saying, "Here, bud, have fun, and here's $20 so I can watch you, get yourself loaded and see how you act." That's the disgusting part about this industry is we should be helping these people. I mean, yes, he's got the money to go to, some sort of rehabilitation or, move away from it. he's got the means, but he doesn't have the motivation because people are paying him to lose this amount of money. They're giving him the money, and then he's losing the money, and they're loving him for it. And that's the worst part about this, in my opinion. Honestly, not to sound cliche, but I'm disgusted by it.
Yeah.
From a viewer standpoint, from the mental health standpoint of XQC, I think XQC is an ass to begin with, but he's a human, and I have love for all humans at the end of the day. Um, I think he needs help, but he's not going to get it because he's getting paid. He's getting paid to do his
Or is
addiction.
he obligated? Does he have a backdoor deal now because he's
Mm,
lost so much money? He says he lost 1.8. Maybe the number's bigger. Maybe he's you know what? Maybe he's got a deal with the devil there in the gambling industry, and that's why he's streaming and promoting it again. So I don't know. Like, kind of took the high path there for a while, but we're back to it. So
yeah,
again,
man, I don't know.
and to me, it doesn't belong on Twitch. It doesn't belong on streaming platforms.
No,
Um,
not at all.
Flipping into just a Twitter post this week. I've retweeted it. If you guys don't follow us at Gaming Moment on Twitter, but just kind of exciting. We got Modern Warfare 2.
So
The
stoked.
cover's out, so we got the
So
cover art.
stoked about this.
Should be. I hate to say it, should be great. I expect this game for me to be the Black Ops 2. Right, Black Ops was great, and I remember someone asking me because it was a bigger deal back then. Black Ops 2, I remember we waited in line, or well, there was lines, and I didn't wait in line that night, but I got the game and I played it every waking minute till I had to do something else. And someone asked me, "So how is it?" And I was like, "I hate to say this because it's still pretty early, but it's the best game I've ever played. I mean, the day one, right? So that's what I'm hoping comes out of this. So I'm hyped. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Ready for a new engine. Um,
Yeah,
I'll
new engine
entertain a new
definitely.
Warzone, but not my thing. So hopefully they have search and destroy. Hopefully they don't have the perks all fucked up like they have this Vanguard. So we'll see.
Yeah, the cover is set in like a jungle setting, so I'm 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 excited because this feels like it'll be a different atmosphere, if you will. Like maybe they're
Yeah,
gonna
absolutely.
they're gonna play off of the whole Pacific theme that they have going on in Warzone right now, the whole Caldera thing, but they're building a modern warfare around it, and I think that's a good storyline because that's not really a storyline that's been done yet. Taking kind of what's going on in the world right now, they could have been building a storyline around that. But I think this jungle fighting, like maybe bringing back like Vietnam or something like that, uh, is really gonna like maybe boost. It's taking them someplace where they haven't gone before. When we
Yep.
thought that they've gone that they've done every major era of war, this kind of steps it up and says nope, we haven't hit everything yet.
So and then I didn't end up finding a TikTok post this week. I have one. I'm gonna throw it in next week. But guys, if you don't already, hit us up on TikTok. Send us. I love nothing more than going in. Like, TikTok's fun, and I love randomly scrolling. But the best TikToks come from your friends. So
Mm-hmm.
get on TikTok, follow us, a gaming moment on TikTok, and send us the best clips you see. We want you guys to send them on the website. Go to gamingmoment.com. You can send clips that way, or send us just a message as a friend on TikTok. Any of the great TikToks that come across, gaming, streaming, technology, anything like that, and let's see if we can get a listener to send us a TikTok or a Twitter or Instagram post. Message us, and we'll see if we can get those in our weekly podcast. So I just think that's a great way. And
Absolutely.
all right, so lead
So
into the
Wild, I
next
got
one.
a yeah. So Wild, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you a pie man or are you a cake man if you could only have one for the rest of your life?
Oh, top question of the week. I mean, I've been thinking about this, and I mean, cake is good, but I don't think it holds like the. I think I'd go pie. And I just done a family trip here this week. Excuse me, this last month. Went up to a place called Betty's Pies. It's up on the north shore of Minnesota and Superior, you betcha. And just a little pie shop, and they're not open every day, and their hours are kind of small. And they're always kind of known for their pies. And some people say they're great, some people say they're not, and all that. But I've been there several times, and they've always been outstanding. And they have this pie, this 5-layer chocolate pie, is absolutely to die for. And I've had it over the last like 15 years, and I've only had it like 4 times in 15 years. But every time I've had it, it's the best pie I've ever had. And I'm always scared to order it again because I don't want it to be bad. And it never is. It's just it's phenomenal. It's like 3 hours from maybe 3.5 hours from my door. And I contemplate driving up there to get a pie every so often. They ship them too, but that's not as much fun. So I'm strong pie. How about you, Dave?
I'm gonna have to agree. Like a good pumpkin pie or a good pecan pie, that's where it's at. Now, I'm gonna say something completely criminal. Completely criminal. I don't like apple pie.
Yeah. There's a lot of apple pies.
The only time I like apple pie is in a milkshake. And if you've never had an apple pie milkshake, it will change your life. The first time I ever had an apple pie milkshake was I was working at Johnny Rockets. I was a server at Johnny Rockets, and somebody ordered it, and I'm like, why the hell would you put a pie in a milkshake? And then I had it, and it changed my life. That's the only way I can enjoy an apple pie. But
so what is that? Is that like you take a slice of pie and mash it into the milkshake?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you take a slice of pie, some ice cream.
I could get around that.
Scoops. Yeah, it's a drinkable apple pie a la mode. That's all. That's basically what it is. Drinkable apple pie a la mode, and it is the best thing I've ever had when it comes to pie outside of a good pecan pie. And there's nothing on planet Earth that can beat a good pecan pie. A close.
You know what though?
Pecans
almost. Let me interject here. Have you ever had a bad pecan pie? Right.
No.
Even a bad pecan pie is pretty damn good. Like it's not a lot of ingredients there. It's pretty hard to fuck up. Oh my god. What do you got for number 2?
Number 2 is pumpkin pie with a giant dollop of Cool Whip. It has to be Cool Whip. It can't be any other. Whip. Something about the sweetness of the Cool Whip that goes with the pumpkin.
That's a taste memory. That's a comfort food memory. That's not awarded upon quality. That's because when you went to your family Thanksgiving every flipping year, Grandma would be lazy and whip out the Cool Whip and be like, "That's the same as these little kids don't know the difference between whipped cream and Cool Whip. They like this better." Cool Whip is it's got its place, but it's very limited in the Wild Twins fan world.
But to your point on like there's no bad pecan pie, like I dies for like one of those pecan pies from the convenience store that's those prepackaged little 3-inch diameter pecan pies. I die for those. They're so good. There is not a bad pecan pie.
The kicker too is we go up to Toronto for my wife's work, and they're traveling, and in Toronto they have what's called butter tarts, and I was like, this is like I don't know if they have pecan pie up there because people seem mystified by the whole concept, but I was like, this is just a pecan pie without pecans. And so my wife got to try a butter tart because she's a nut allergy, so she can't have nuts. And my wife loved it too, and so she's all about like, can we find some butter tarts before we leave, and stuff like that. And yeah, the pumpkin pie is definitely way up there, but I'm gonna go with the real whipped cream on that. Pecan, I've had very few I've never had a bad pecan pie. I've had
Mhm.
some that are less good, but never had a bad one. So
Right.
valid points in my world. Also, if you guys want, you can follow my Instagram, Hunger Inspired, on Instagram, and message me if you guys want a suggestion if you're up in the Minnesota area, of a food recommendation. That's always fun stuff. Or hit us up on AGM if you want Texas, anything food recommendations on Texas or Minnesota.
Still trying to fly Wildy down here to enjoy
Uh,
real
uh,
good barbecue
it's
and
only a matter of time.
oysters.
We'll be there. Yeah.
And oysters. There's a place here. They pay way too much for oysters where Wild's at. We have them dirt cheap down here, and they're huge because they're Gulf oysters.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I
so
love
that's
I
gonna
love
be
them, but yeah, the shipping kills you.
yeah. So that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. It's sad to see Twitch constantly make the wrong decisions, and like we talked about last episode, even executive leisure. And that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. It's sad to see Twitch constantly make the wrong decisions, like we talked about last episode. Even executive leadership sees it and is bouncing. In the next episode, we'll talk about YouTube making the right decisions for its growth. Thank you guys for listening in. Consider our Patreon to support the podcast, and also by going to merch.agamingmoment.com and picking up a really awesome t-shirt or sweater or beanie or hat. We have it all. Be sure to subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform, and be sure to leave us a 5-star review of the podcast. Also, check back weekly for the next episode. And until next time, guys, keep grinding.